Across the wards.
Across the Highlands.
Across the world.
This is Inverness Hospital Radio. Good afternoon, it's just gone midday. It's Saturday, the 5th of October. It's your Saturday drop-in. Tom Nelson here, Ali's outside. There is actual production taking place. Guests and quizzes, lots for you to join the next hour. Stay tuned to Inverness Hospital Radio. It's Bastille, it's Pompeii. This is your Saturday drop-in here on Inverness Hospital Radio. It's so nice to have your company. A very good afternoon to you. What a full show we've got for you today. We've got our quizzes to test the grey matter when you're in hospital. We've got Guess the Year coming up in about 10 minutes' time. And in the second hour of the show, we are going to play Beat Detective. Some cryptic clues, which is going to lead you to a song that we are playing in the second hour. But as well as that, we are going to have Ali opening the door to say hello. We are going to have our guests in from ILM in Alness. A really interesting organisation that supports people to live at home whilst also supporting the environment as well. And we're going to be finding out about the Highlands Third Sector Interface. My question is going to be, what is a Third Sector Interface, Ali? I'm looking forward to your interview with Angela coming up soon. The mic's on, mate. You know, you can join in if you want to.
Okay,
He's too busy thinking about the octopuses.
Yes, I'm just needing these turned up.
Oh, are they needing turned
just
up?
A wee touch.
Now, here's the problem. If only I knew the guy who knew how to do that. Is it that one?
That's the very one.
How's that, mate?
Beautiful.
Can you hear me now?
Perfect.
There we go.
Perfect. How are you?
Do you know what, mate? When was the last time we actually did a show together?
1980. It was a wee while ago, shall we say?
It was. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Same as yourself, just busy as always. Not enough hours in the day for anything, let alone coming in and doing this as well.
Exactly.
It's bonkers.
Plus, it's also weird. How many times am I going to think it's a Sunday night?
Because
that's when we used to be on together.
Yes. It's weird coming in daylight.
Yeah, isn't the hospital a totally different place?
Yes.
Because we're used to coming in, the cafe's always shut, the shop's always shut.
It's a ghost town.
It's a ghost town. But we've been to the cafe already. So if you're in Raigmore, you can come down, if you're able to, and go to the cafe and you'll get a lovely service.
And you may as well come and see us as well.
Well, we may as well, because it's the Saturday drop-in, so the door's open.
Yep.
It's going to be busy, because we've got lots of guests coming in this week.
I know, I'm looking forward to it.
Well, you're looking forward to it. So far, of all the Saturday drop-ins, it's just been manic. It's been chasing about the place. It's been trying to get the right people in and out at the same time, getting the right quizzes done, knowing the years, knowing the songs.
And 1994. I'm just guessing.
Are you just guessing a year?
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, the first year was 2013 because we played Bastille and Pompeii. Songs about octopi.
Yep.
Next up, we are going to play a song. Hold on, I'm going to press play for it because it's got a nice wee intro. Also from 2013.
Okay.
It's almost like I've done a two in a row here.
Oh, you can't be stepping on that.
I'm stepping on somebody else's toes here.
Gotcha.
It's what a rare occasion he's not on the radio. Whoa! Terry's up later. Here's the Foals. It's Foals and my number. The number here in the studio that you need is 01463 704 500, and you can get in touch with us on email. It's studio@invernesshospitalradio.co.uk. Feel free to get in touch. It is the 5th of October today, and according to daysoftheyear.com, you can say that it's National Do Something Nice Day. So, you know, if you want to do something nice, a nice wee message to somebody, maybe a message to us, that'd be lovely. Hopefully we're doing something nice by making your stay in hospital that little bit better. It's World Teachers Day, which for a Saturday is a bit odd, I'll give you that. World Card Making Day, Polenta Festival, there you go. However, it is Balloons Around the World Day. A simple thing like a balloon can brighten anyone's day. Well, you don't need to ask me twice to be able to play songs about national days of the year. So here's Nina and 99 Luftballons. Das war Nina und 99 Luftballon hier auf Inverness Krankenhausen Radio. Yes, I can do German links as well. I've got all the skills. Coming up after this short break, it is going to be Guess the Year. It's your chance to join in with the fun and tell us what year we are focusing on after these. And now on Inverness Hospital Radio, on this year's Saturday drop-in, it's time to play Guess the Year. First up, it's a number one from this week in chart history. It's Karma Chameleon's Culture Club. it's Culture Club and Karma Chameleon. But what was the year? Now, here's the thing. Because it's been a while since I've done a show with them, I'm able to use an old school jingle. I don't know if you remember this.
Love all
I
that
love
sort of
that
stuff. Well, we got rid of this.
No, I've redone it.
It's time for another useless information with Alistair McLaughlin.
Isn't it amazing?
Yeah, well, I've got one that I've just found, and I'm like, oh,
All right, you go for it.
It's a dancer.
Throw us your one. Go for it.
So, in this year,
The
pound coin was introduced in England and Wales.
pound coin.
There you go.
Wow. Some other useless facts here. We've got Margaret Thatcher wins her second general election. Can't be good news. Politics.
Oh, let's not go there.
Let's not go there. Aberdeen defeated Real Madrid 2-1 to win the European Cup Winners' Cup. This is one of my favourites. At the 17th General Conference of Weights and Measures, the metre is defined in terms of the speed of light as the distance light travels in a vacuum at 1,299,792,458th of a second.
That was easy for you to say.
Easy for me to say. And if that's not giving it away, there was a movie out in this year. Oh, I need to click OK first.
Yep.
But that doesn't really narrow it down, does it? Because there's a few of these ones, isn't there?
That's Marvel, isn't it? I'm going to start fighting in the studio. Woo!
See, in our house, right, what you do is you say, oh, wait a minute, is that Indiana Jones?
Oh, yeah.
Is it E.T.?
Yeah.
Is it Superman?
So it's basically Spielberg.
It's no, well, it's sort of. No.
Ish, kind of. Well, it's not, is it?
You don't know what it is, do you?
I do.
Oh, no, just joking. So in this year, Star Wars Episode 6 came out, which is the third one, which is a long story, of course.
And in this year, I was only 2.
You were only 2?
Yeah.
Well, can I give a big clue? Before I tell you that one of the best-selling albums of the year was No Parley by Paul Young, and we're going to play one of his songs next.
Right.
We've got a celebrity birthday.
Ooh.
It was my birthday. It's my birthday today.
Way.
It is indeed. And I'm so self-centred that I have
came into work.
I have picked a guess the year that is my year that I was born.
That does not sound like you at all. Goodness me.
So if you think you know what the year was, email us studio@invernesshospitalradio.co.uk. Check us out on social media as well. In the meantime, from one of the best-selling albums of the year, here is Paul Young. Come back and stay. With Come Back and Stay, it's Paul Young from our mystery year. Ali, you've got one more clue to give it away.
I do. Now, on this year, the musical Annie, performed for the last time on Broadway.
The last time?
For the last time on Broadway. So if you were there that year and you remember that far back, not that I'm saying it's far, far back.
Well, it's further back for you than it is for me.
Aye, okay, right, come on, hurry up, get on with it. He's always at this age thing.
So, we've done this for years. So, if you said 1983... then well done to you. Yes, 1983 was our guest of the year. We'll be back next week with, well, I won't be, but that's a long story. Maybe there'll be a guest of the year next week. I don't know. You need to speak to whoever's in charge next week. In the meantime, coming up in just a few moments' time, we're going to be speaking to Angela from the Highlands Third Sector Interface and Martin, who is going to tell us about his organisation that works with them as well.
There you go, Hideaway and D. Lacey, or Hideaway and D. Lacey. So we've got to say a big hi to Angela joining us in the studio. She is from the Highland Third Sector Interface. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
There we go.
Thanks for having us in today.
You're very welcome. It's good to actually see you and not see you in a work. Normally we end up meeting each other in a work environment, or in your previous job it was in a work environment. So it's nice to meet you out with that.
Absolutely, and it's a real treat to come in to see the team here at Inverness Hospital Radio, see what you guys get up to, and
carnage. It's normally just carnage, to be honest. It's just madness. It's just as well the walls are padded. That is all I'm saying, because when Tom and I are in an area together, it just normally just ends up in mayhem, and chaos.
Well, it all feels very calm and organised, so that's wonderful.
We're pulling it off, Tom. It's working. It's going smoothly so far. So we're getting you in today just to have a chat and find out about the Highland Third Sector Interface. But before that, who are you? Obviously, I know you, but our listeners don't. So give us a bit of brief insight into who you are and what you do.
Absolutely. So my name is Angela Stewart and I'm part of the team at Highland Third Sector Interface. We're based in Dingwall. And basically we are a membership organisation where we support and guide charities, social enterprises or community groups throughout Highland.
Okay, so can you give us some examples of who and what and where you do? Because obviously the Highlands is quite a large area, although when you look at the map of down in England, they've got a lot more space, but up here we're kind of spread out, so there's a lot of remote stuff as well as just in Inverness.
Absolutely. I mean, we talk about it all the time. Highland is nuanced in the fact that it is it's huge. It's the most remote and sparsely populated part of the UK.
Yep.
The team at Dingwall, the team that I'm part of, we look after Inverness, Invernessshire, Nairnshire, Mid, East and Wester Ross. But we do also have 5 delivery partners.
Yep.
So, covering Caithness, Strathspey, Sutherland and Skye and Loch Alsh. So that makes sure that we're looking after the whole of Highland, which is quite a challenge.
That is a massive catchment area. I mean, roughly how many are involved that are doing this in the Highland Third Sector? In, like, say, for example, your office is... How many of people are involved in dealing with that?
So our office in Dingwall, we have about a team of 24.
Wow.
But I mean, that's taking in different projects that we look after as well.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, we have Cafe 1668, which is on Church Street in Inverness, and they're a social enterprise offering free meals to those in need 3 days a week, and also operating to the general public. So if you're out and about in the town and you fancy some really nice coffee or a bit of lunch or breakfast,
Cake.
pop along. Absolutely.
Oh, I'm there.
Get yourself
done.
along to the cafe and they'll look after you, but you're also then helping to do your bit for our communities in Inverness that need a little helping hand.
Yeah. So what helping hand do you give these organisations and charities? What is it you guys do for them? Because obviously I was quite naive to the whole thing when I found out that you had a new job and this is who you were working for. So obviously for those that really don't understand what, because I can say, it's the Highland Third Sector Interface, but everybody just looks at me blank and what? So what is it you guys do? How do you help these organisations?
Yeah, so for anyone who has a really good idea, so they've identified an issue in their own community, and it might be that it's a health and well-being issue, you feel like that the need is not being met, or you want to any issue with it within your own community, or you've just got a really good idea that might be solving an environmentally problem as well, I would encourage you to get in touch with ourselves. So we can help take you on a journey, develop with your organisational development plan, making sure that you've thought through who it is you're helping, why are you helping them, are you the best person for the job? So we can help you with all of that. My colleague Julia Dahl, she could assist you with your governance, so you're looking at different legal structures.
Gotcha.
Marion, part of our team, she's all things funding, so she can help you with any funding applications, looking again at your why do you want to solve this problem within Highland. And so there's all sorts of support in terms of networking opportunities, training, loads going on. So
it's like a mentorship as well, that you're kind of guiding them in the right direction, and you've got the kind of people that have the knowledge base to say, well, actually, instead of going for that, do this, or is that part of what you guys do as well for them? Yeah,
so we do actually, as part of that sort of client journey, we do have a mentorship scheme. So you may be in a new role as a manager within a charity or a social enterprise or a community group, and sometimes people find themselves in those positions just by chance, and so we're there to kind of help.
I'm just looking at me and Tom at that point going, this is kind of where we found ourselves, between station managers and chairs of charities, just by proxy almost. We turned up at the meeting and they pointed at us.
It was the last person to say no me.
Absolutely, and that's normally how it goes, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you're finding that you're wearing all of the hats
Yep.
all of the time. And, it's nice for you to have a mentor that you can turn to. And sometimes it's just somebody to have as a soundboard that
Yeah.
you can kind of say, am I on the right track? So, yeah, get in touch if you're somebody new into a managerial role and you would benefit from having an experienced mentor. So our mentors are from all sectors, private, public and third sector.
Yep.
They have been in their position for more than 3 years, so they have already kind of walked
Been
the
where
walk.
you are.
Yeah,
Yep.
got the t-shirt, and they can offer you that kind of support that you're maybe needing starting out. So anybody who would want to become a member and also would like to offer their services as a mentor, get in touch. We'd love to hear from you.
Yep.
But also, if you're on the other end and you think a mentee, you think you could benefit from having a mentor, that's also important.
Does the third sector interface also offer more formal training to help people in their organisation, like management courses, for example, or more formalised stuff rather than just mentorship?
Absolutely. So we are part of an ecosystem offering support around whether it's development planning, looking at your finances, marketing, anything that you would need in terms of running an organisation and it's not always about growth, it's about sustainability.
Yeah.
So making sure that you're starting off on the right with a solid foundation that you can grow if you choose to do so, but at the same time we still want you to be around in 5-10 years doing the great work that you're doing.
Yeah, and sometimes that's the hardest part is that having that longevity, especially in the current climate where things are really uncertain, that obviously if you've got people there that can help you, one, build a strong foundation, but then try and keep that longevity going is quite a good thing.
You're right, and I think that there are lots of challenges out there, but at the same time there are lots of opportunities.
Yep.
So I see as within the third sector, highlighting those opportunities, making those vital connections to strengthen all sectors throughout Highland.
Yeah. Well, listen, we're going to come back in just a second because you've picked some music to play during this, and we're going to play Keisha just now. Now, we've got another couple coming up, and one of which I think is just an absolute tune and a half. And I know you love it as well, Angie Stone, so that's going to be coming up shortly as well. But we're going to play Hideaway first, and then we'll get back to the chat in just a moment. Is that okay?
Brilliant. Thanks, Ali.
Beautiful.
Inverness Hospital Radio. A friend at your bedside.
Indeed we are, and we are back live in the studio. It is Saturday and we are coming up towards 1 o'clock, but before that we're going to carry on our chat with Angela from the Highlands Third Sector Interface. So we had your two of your tracks we've played today. We've got another couple coming up, but before we get to that, you were talking about that you work with community, public and the private sector, and you enable opportunities for trading between the sectors. Can you explain a little bit about that for us?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we all can acknowledge that we want things to be better, and we're all becoming increasingly more aware of the impact companies can have on our communities and how our purchasing decisions can make a big difference.
Yep.
I mean, on a local level, if we can purchase the goods and services we want or need, but at the same time help a social or environmental problem, then that's going to be good news for us all.
Yep.
So a great way for all sectors, public, private and third sector, to work more closely would be through ourselves. We kind of see ourselves as the creating the sort of equal voice for third sector organisations, listening to what the need is, what are the demands, what are the challenges that communities are facing.
Yep.
But for any sort of private sector that want to get involved, they might be looking at ways they can fulfil their corporate social responsibility. I would love for them to reach out and get in touch with ourselves. We have a whole load of different ways that you can get involved. It's not always about volunteering the team to go and paint the fence or weed Feed the Garden. There is a whole host of, we have Meet the Expert opportunities. You might be, for somebody to come along and you could introduce them to the world of Tech Alley, that would be fantastic.
and scare them away.
Or broadcasting, or, so there's a whole load of ways in which we can all feed into helping our communities become stronger.
It's quite good in the sense that it's giving that forward or giving back even. That people have been in the industry for ages, and you just kind of go, well, they've done what they've done. But the fact that these guys are coming back and saying, well, actually, I can help you achieve what you want by giving even just a little bit of time and knowledge, just passing back.
You're so right. And, I think that's the lovely thing that I've really sort of seen firsthand through our mentorship scheme, is that it's a two-way relationship. Mm-hmm. Yes, the mentee is benefiting hugely, but the mentors have come to me and said, Angela, I have learnt so much. I've stepped out of my bubble, because we're all in our little bubbles operating in our worlds, and they've stepped out of their bubble and they've learnt, they've developed a sort of got new network now. They've met new people. They've developed their new skills. They're looking at how other people are doing things and maybe doing it a bit better as well.
Yep. It's something we've been talking about on this Saturday drop-in before with other organisations, that it's okay to enjoy volunteering. It's okay to benefit from it. It's it shouldn't be a hard graft. So when people are giving up their time and giving something back, that you can get so much from it, and that's okay. You should embrace that and enjoy it.
Absolutely, Tom. It's continued personal development, which sometimes is quite scary, because, as I say, we're all in our lane. Volunteering gives you an opportunity in a safe space to step out and try something new and meet new people. So I think we all need a little bit more of that in our lives. So,
and you've actually had first-hand experience in that because obviously this is a relatively new job. You might say, because you spent years doing something else and then went, no, I want to change, I want to do something different. So how's that worked for you?
Absolutely. Honestly, I had a fabulous career previously, and I don't know whether it's part of just getting older or but I started to think, where could I contribute, where can I sort of give a little bit back, how can I help others? But, selfishly as well, I wanted continued personal development. And along with it, here I am today, sitting on, talking to you on radio, which is not something I've done before.
Absolutely not. That's something that even the thought of that 5 years ago, you'd have been like, no,
I would have been like,
it.
no chance, and, it's thanks to you here, at the team here, that, I feel confident enough to participate. But it's so continued personal development all the way.
So we've got one coming up very shortly. We've got one of your Highland Third Sector Interface people coming in. So we've got ILM from Alness now. It's the Intermediate Labour Market. Did I get that right? Please tell me I got that right. I've got a thumbs up there. Excellent. It was a bit of a put my teeth back in to make sure that I got that right. So we've got another track coming up, and then we'll have a quick brief chat with Angela once again, and then we're going to introduce Martin and find out what ILM in Alness do. I absolutely love that tune.
It's the best, honestly.
And it was the official closing song for Space in Ibiza. It was the last song that Carl Cox played in that venue before they shut it down for good.
Oh my goodness.
So,
well,
what a tune.
Do you know, I was just reflecting on the fact that during COVID you provided DJ
noise,
or more than it was, on a Sunday night during COVID. Ali came on social media and DJ'd for us all, and that was the absolute highlight of our week. Sunday nights were just amazing.
Sundays were the new Saturdays.
They absolutely were. Honestly, during a difficult time for a lot of people, you just added a lot of fun.
Do you know what? It actually broke up the week for me as well. It was just a bit of fun for me, because obviously we go out and play music all the time, whether it's in the studio or whether we're DJing in bars, venues, clubs, whatever. Everything came to a standstill, and everybody dealt with it in different ways. And obviously we nipped to Tesco's and we stocked up on the old beverages, and then one night I was like, do you know what, I'm going to get online and we'll do this. And it became a great community of just chatting with folk, even though it was playing music, getting them, finding out what songs they wanted, and if they didn't, it was absolutely fine as well. They would send a message saying, I'm listening, my kitchen, in my bedroom, or wherever they were, and it was just good crack. It was great fun.
So much fun. And every time I hear that song, I think of you. So, yeah.
Well, there we go. Right, well, we're going to get back to the message in hand today. And you were talking earlier about social enterprise and how you mentioned your role was to support organisational development in that area. So can you tell us what a social enterprise is? Can you expand on that for me?
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, social enterprise primarily exists to trade as a means to solve a social or environmental problem. Mm-hmm. They will earn income. Profit's not a dirty word.
No, absolutely not.
But at the same time, to achieve their social and environmental goals, they are also contributing to the economy as well. So, there's a whole load of good going on there.
Yep.
A social enterprise will bring in most of its income through selling goods or services. It'll also have clear rules about what it does with its profits. So, reinvesting these profits to further their social mission,
yep.
which is really important.
Yep.
Their assets and their operating profits cannot be freely distributed to owners or shareholders, and all the funds raised have to go back to the organisation. And if a social enterprise is shut down and its assets sold off, any residual funds are handed to another asset-locked organisation. So a core principle is that economic activity should work for the common good rather than the unlimited private gain of a few.
So basically the fat cats aren't getting rich, but everybody's gaining something out of the profits that are there in the community.
Yeah, we're shooting for a fairer, more equitable sort of communities in Highland, really.
Yeah, brilliant. And can you also give us some local examples? So you've said about the enterprise and stuff. Have you got any sort of info you can give us on that before, I was about to say before the top of the hour, but I've just ran into the top of the hour. So welcome along to 1 o'clock in the next hour, just for editing purposes, for podcasts, etc. But can you give us some examples?
Yeah, definitely. So we're joined here today with Martin from ILM in Alness, and Martin's going to tell us a little bit more about ILM. But there's so many social enterprises here in Highland. But some that you may be familiar with: New Start Highland, who provide training opportunities, painting, admin, bike repair, horticulture, first aid, furniture. I mean, they're just doing so much. They're an amazing social enterprise. Abin Outdoor, they offer free, they have access to weekly outdoor youth groups for biking, mountaineering and open water swimming. And I mentioned CAFE 1668 earlier on, which is one of our projects. And their core sort of beliefs are that everyone can find themselves in a situation that requires a helping hand, and if possible we should be there to offer support. Also, food waste is avoidable and can have a detrimental effect on both our environment and the people's lives. And many adults and children suffer from hunger daily. And they also, we provide employment opportunities and skill building, which can obviously positively impact people's lives, providing them with a better future and improved life chances. So it's all the good stuff. It's a lovely thing to be talking about on a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah. And it's good to see that there's so many sort of businesses and everybody involved and people wanting to give back. Because obviously we see there's loads of companies out there and they make massive profits, but the fact that we've got local community-based organisations that are not just doing things but they're helping others as well, which is an amazing thing to see, which I think is phenomenal. And we've got ILM coming up, and how do we get in touch with Highland Third Sector Interface? If somebody is wanting to be part of this and get in touch, how do they go about that?
Yeah, jump onto our website, highlandthirdSectorinterface.com.
Yep.
You'll be able to find my details or any of my colleague details, direct emails, telephone numbers, etc. on the website. Please reach out. We'd love to hear from you.
Excellent. Well, listen, thank you so much for coming in today, and I hope it wasn't as stressful as you thought it was going to be.
It's been so much fun, Ali.
Excellent.
Thank you so much.
Good. Excellent.
the
Right,
wards.
we're going to finish.
Across the Highlands,
Across the world.
This is Inverness Hospital Radio.
And most certainly is. A very good afternoon to you. It's just 7.5 minutes past 1 o'clock live here on Inverness Hospital Radio. It's a Saturday drop-in on the 5th of October 2024. Not 1983, that was Guess the Year in the previous hour. But the good thing is, if you do like being tested, then we have just something ready for you, because Beat Detective is running for this hour, because we're going to play out with a song. We don't know what the song is yet, but we've got some clues which are going to help us find it. You can check this out on our social media as well, and see if you can guess the song. Ali has just seen the clue for the first time, and he's squinting a wee bit.
Sorry, I'm just going to pull the microphone closer so we can see.
Why not?
So am I reading out the first clue?
You can read out the first clue. So the first clue is the name of a song.
Okay, so now what I've got in front of me written here, guys, and I know nothing about this as well. So, busting a groove in the glow of this lunar body. Okay, that's the song clue. So, busting a groove in the glow of this lunar body. Any guesses in the studio?
No, don't be out loud, because we want to really let everybody have a chance at this one.
I mean, if there was a camera here just now, I've got a look of complete confusion on Angela. So there was a wee squinty face as well. I don't think there's an emoji for that one, to be fair, that we can put up. Martin, anything?
Not a clue.
Not a clue. Right, okay, so we're going to let you guess, but please do get in touch with us.
So that's the song, Busting a Groove in the Glow of This Lunar Body. And the artist of all the Packers, these are the best.
Tupperware.
Shh. Yeah, that's that song by the band Tupperware. Oh man, if you did have a band called Tupperware, just think.
It'd be fresh.
Your song would be Can't Find the Right Lid. 4 tubs and 2 lids. How did that happen? That was their second album.
Yeah.
So, Beat Detective for this week. It's going to be the last song we play today. The song is Busting a Groove in the Glow of This Lunar Body, and the artist of all the Packers, these are the best. You can check out that clue again on our social media. Have a look on Facebook and on Instagram, and you'll find us, Inverness Hospital Radio. And of course you can drop us an email, studio@invernesshospitalradio.co.uk as well. We're going to jump back into the 1980s, the best year for music perhaps, or is it the 90s? Who knows? And coming up after this, we're going to be speaking to Martin. We've been finding out all about the Third Sector Interface. Well, let's find out about one of these organisations. We'll be back after some Jane Wheeldon. This is called Rush Hour. That's Jane Wheeldon and Rush Hour from 1988 here on the Saturday Drop-In, where we are speaking, as we always do every Saturday, to organisations across the whole NHS Highland area about what they're doing to support people in the community. We're joined now by Martin. Martin is from ILM, which stands for the Immediate Labour Market. It's an organisation that was founded in 1994 and has the title here, to reduce waste, protect the environment and support vulnerable people to live at home. Martin, welcome along to the show today. How are you?
Very well, thank you, and thanks for inviting me along here today with Angela. Much appreciated.
It's great to have you here. Hopefully you're enjoying it. We've not scared you away. You've managed to stay in the studio and not run, so that's great.
Not yet. Might be away shortly, though.
No, it's not a grilling, it's just a nice wee chat. So tell us, ILM Highland, what's the aims, what's the objectives of the organisation?
ILM was originally set up to support the long-term unemployed back into work, but as the jobs market's increased, the need for ILM has reduced, which is great. So we're now concentrating on supporting vulnerable people to remain at home for longer, as well as collection of waste, electrical. So we've got an environmental aspect as well as our social impact.
So in terms of letting people live at home, what's the focus there? If we look at that first before we look at the environmental side, what sort of activities or services do you offer to support that?
Well, we work very closely with NHS Highland throughout Rossshire and Sutherland. So what we do is we do work in people's homes. So if an elderly person over the age of 65 hurts a leg or breaks a leg, or they've come into Rigmore and they're needing to get out to get home, they can no longer get in and out of the bath. So we can work with the people and the Highland Council to try and get a grant for them so they can put a level lapse shower in, and that keeps them at home for at least a minimum of another 4 years.
See, that's marvellous. And what about in terms of like repairs, ongoing works in people's houses? Do you support that at all?
We do. Excuse me. We've got their handy person service, which does all the small work. So they put grab rails up, banister rails, change a light bulb, because that's the one that, as we all get older, we all stand in a chair and then we'll fall off it and we break a hip. So we're trying to prevent all these things from happening.
And that's, again, these things that we don't think of, and most people won't think of until they get a wee bit older in life, where we're all probably quite daft for just jumping on a chair. We don't think about the consequences because we go through life thinking, I'll just get up and bounce back from that, I'll be fine. But an injury such as, once someone's older, they're more likely to injure themselves.
Very much so.
And then the impact that has, because they're going to then have to spend time in hospital. Then, of course, we have to think about the social impact, about the resources that are taken up there. So that preventative element of you offering a service to come in before the incident occurs must be really valuable.
It is, because it also prevents them from going into institutional care, like into a care home or whatever else. It allows people to remain at home for longer. That's the whole idea of it. So, I mean, just changing a light bulb can make a huge difference to someone's health, because they're not getting injured. It's not getting injured. We also work with the telecare equipment, so when somebody has started the early dementia signs, it can still remain at home, but they've got all the likes of the help call and everything else. So we run that across Rossshire and Sutherland as well for NHS Highland. We install that in the homes, and then it's just a case of if someone falls, a sensor will go off, it goes to the call centre, and then somebody can get called to come out and support these people. It's fantastic. It's
a marvellous setup, because it's not just if people fall. Is there other sort of sensors around, like at the time with the smoke alarms, or there's flood alarms? Is that right?
Yes, there's even sensors for beds, pressure mats in a bed, to make sure that somebody goes to their bed at a set time and that they get up as well, so that people know that everything is working and the people in the home are going about their normal life and living there safely, with the cognises that somebody is not watching them but knows if there's a problem.
And that must be really reassuring to these people to know that they're still in their own home, which is, I don't know how you measure the benefit that has on someone's mental health and their overall well-being, that they're still in the place that they recognise that's theirs, but still having that support that, again, as you said, they're not being watched, nobody's looking over them, but just if they ever needed it. That must be really reassuring.
It's really, really, really reassuring for these people, but it's even more reassuring for the family, because the son or the daughter can still live their own life in their own home without mum or dad coming to have to live with them, and it gives them all peace of mind that mum and dad, or whoever it is that's home, is there and living there safely.
And how many people would you say you're supporting or have supported, say, in the last 12 months? What's the reach for your organisation?
Well, the reach we've got is across Rossshire and Sutherland, so probably in the last 12 months we've probably assisted about 3,000 people.
That's just an amazing figure, and that's when we think again about the benefit to the community, that these are people who are not in a full-time care facility, for example. They're not becoming unwell. That means they have to come into a hospital environment. That the benefit community-wide and across Rossshire and Sutherland must be phenomenal.
It is. It's fantastic. I really get so much enthusiasm for what our guys do when they're out there, and I would say they don't work for ILM. They work for the person that's at home, because they love supporting that people to make the smallest of differences to their lives, but it can be small to us, but it's huge to them. It really is fantastic.
How many people have you got involved in the organisation?
At the moment, we're employing 34 staff in total. Not all working full-time, but some in part-time. But on this sort of handy person care and repair telecare is about 15 staff in total. So they're out there on the road every day.
And these are employed staff?
They're employed staff. We don't have any volunteers at ILM. That's why we're ILM Highland Intermediate Labour Market. It's about employment rather than volunteers. Although we're looking for volunteers in one of our services that we're starting up shortly, and we'll talk about that later on.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. Yeah, it's really exciting. And we're back here on the Saturday drop-in as we've been talking to Martin from ILM, the immediate labour market based over in Sutherland and Rossshire. Before the break, you mentioned it right at the very beginning, in fact, about the environmental side. You've spoken about how you support people to live at home for longer, but there's also this environmental element that you're involved in. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, no bother, Tom. I mean, what we do there is we are an electrical recycler. So we collect every piece of electrical and electronic equipment that goes into the recycling centres for the Highland Council, and we take them back to Alness to be selected for reuse, and also so that they are recycled rather than ending up in landfill, which is really great.
And there must be so many of these goods that are put in the recycling centres. I mean, how many units are you dealing with, would you say, in a course of a month, a week, a year? I don't know.
I mean, units is a bit difficult, but certainly on tonnage, we collect 2,400 tonnes from the Highlands across the year. So it's huge numbers, really, for the population that is within the Highlands.
So talk us through, how does the system work? From the moment that you go to the recycling centre and pick it up, tell us about it.
Yeah, no bother. So what will happen is we'll go down, or we'll come to the recycling centre here in Inverness, and it's all in the right compartments, and then we just put all that into the back of our lorries and we take it back to Alness. Once we get it back to Alness, for the bigger stuff we select for reuse. So we look at products that haven't been damaged or bashed, and we can see if we can fix them. So what we do is we've got our engineers who will come out, they will check them all over, give them an electrical safety test, and then they will select them, leave them inside to dry, because recycling centres are out in the rain, so give them a wee spot of maybe 2 or 3 weeks to dry out, and then they start working on them to try and repair them. So we've got trained engineers, and then once we've fixed them, we get another chap who comes in and he makes a fantastic job of cleaning them, and then we sell them either on our shop floor in Alness, and we sell them online. So it's all about the reuse aspect.
Yeah.
Yes, as Andrew said, we're a social enterprise as well as a charity. So the social enterprise for us side of it is that we sell these products at a reduced rate, and then any profit from that is then donated back to the charity. So it all goes into the big pot for the charity and the aims of ILM going forward.
And I wonder, how many times are you picking up? I know you're dealing with tonnage rather than individual units, but how often are you finding that there's equipment that doesn't have a lot wrong with it, that we've just sort of tossed aside because we want a new fridge or a new freezer, and we're quite a throwaway society, I suppose. But how often are you finding that it's the smallest of wee fixes and you can get that piece of equipment going again?
It's quite scary, actually, how much that happens. We recently took in a fridge. That fridge freezer wasn't working, and our engineer had it working in 10 minutes. It had a pea stuck in the outlet pipe at the back, and that's all that was blocking it. So that was it. It got cleaned up, and we sold it within a week.
I find that it's marvellous, but yeah, it's the society that we live in that. Obviously, you're selling these goods at a reasonable, the price that matches their condition, obviously, and that supports people who can't go out and buy a brand new product. So again, there's a nice response towards the community with that as well. But it obviously says to us that it's so easy to throw things away because we can buy something without spending too much money on that.
Yeah, we need to change the mindset of the people living in the Highlands, because we should be looking to repair these products first. If your washing machine or your fridge freezer breaks down, try and get it repaired. If you can't get it repaired, let's see if we can get it to reuse, like a facility like ourselves. And then, if you can't, then recycle it, and by putting it to the recycling centres to allow that to happen. So I call it the 3 R's. It's not reading, writing. It's repair, reuse, and then recycle. So that's what that's our ethos of trying to get it across to people within the Highlands.
So you mentioned that you go around the council recycling sites and you collect these goods. Is there some way that people could bring it straight to you? Either they believe that they're finished with it, or is it perhaps that they could bring it to you to get it repaired?
Yes, they certainly can. So just give a quick call to our office in Alness, let somebody know that we're there or you're coming, and they can take it into us. I have to say, when I go to work every morning, there is usually 2 or 3 fridges or washing machines sitting outside our gate where people have dropped off at night. And that's fine. We're happy to take that, because I'd prefer them to drop it off at our gate than to throw it in the woods and fly to it.
Absolutely, yeah. So you're supporting that as well.
Yeah.
It's amazing when you look at what you're doing. There's so many elements to it that's supporting the community directly, indirectly. It's what do you take from it? Because it's obviously, I presume it's your job. It's what you do, but quite clearly you're passionate about it and you're really heavily involved. Tell us about what you get from it.
What I get from ILM is the good that we do through all the services we provide. Be that just somebody who can't afford to buy a new washing machine being able to come to ILM and buy a reconditioned one. We'll throw in a 6-month warranty with that to give people a bit of peace of mind that it will last the length of time, you know, which is great. But then it's also about the green impact, you know. We're stopping people from throwing things stopping it going to landfall. We stop it from fly tipping. These are all things that are just fantastic on the green side. The care and repair and our handy person service is about keeping that person at home, and it's more the sort of touchy-feely sort of side of things, you know. If I can help my granny to stay at home for longer, then that's fantastic. Because none of us really like to see them in hospital or whatever else.
Absolutely not. No, it's and it can be such a detriment to that person as well. Of course, the hospital is trying their best and doing their best to make people better. But of course, sometimes the best place is just to be at home and be in that environment where you feel more comfortable and happier. And again, it's that mental well-being aspect as well.
It is, and the hospital is fantastic. I think we would all be lost without Rigmore or the community hospitals in the Highlands, and NHS themselves are a fantastic organisation. The thing about it is that we can assist people to get out of hospital when they are well and they're just needing some alterations done at the house. That's where the handy person service or the care and repair service kicks in, because we can put the necessary equipment in which allows them to come out of hospital, stop bed blocking, and get them back home where that person wants to be, ultimately where they want to be.
So talk about where you want to be. What's happening in the next few months, or what's the future plans for ILM?
ILM, we're looking to grow as an organisation. We've come through a sort of 4 or 5 years since COVID, sort of flatlining, which is fine. We're happy with that. But we're about to launch a repair cafe in Alness. And the thing with the repair cafe, that's where people can take a broken sort of radio, or need someone to sharpen their knife, or can take their bike, or even get a zip sewn onto a jacket. And we're looking for volunteers for that at the moment to help us with the necessary skill set so that we can deliver that to the people within the Easter Ross area. You know, so we're hoping that will be kicking off. If it doesn't happen by the end of October, it'll certainly be into November. We'll have that up and running, you know.
Well, good luck with that. It all sounds incredible, and good luck for the future of ILM, and keep supporting the people in Ross and Sutherland, and indeed the wider NHS Highland area, which is marvellous. Where's that cafe going to be, first of all? And then tell us about the contact details, about how people can find you.
The cafe, we're going to hold that in Alness, in our own building, ILM building. It'll be at the weekend, which is great because the site's dead at the weekend. Very busy all week, but dead at the weekend. So that's at Unit 1G in the industrial estate in Alness, so it's easy to find. Anybody looking for any other information about ILM, our website's there. It's just ILM Highland at www. You know, and people can contact us there. There's a contact me, or pick up the phone. The phone number's on the website, and you'll be put through to the department or the service that you're looking to get support from.
That's right, so that's ilmhighland.co.uk, and you can get the phone number on the top right there, email address as well. Yeah. And on social media as well, can we go finding you there, I'm sure?
Facebook.
Absolutely.
Facebook, ILM Highland. Yeah, very much so.
Well, Martin, thank you so much for coming in to speak to us today. It's been really interesting to find out, and thank you for what you do, and good luck for the future with the cafe and everything that you do.
That's great. Appreciate the opportunity to sit here and talk to you guys.
Now, I'm just going to give you a quick reminder of our Beat Detective clues, because we do have Beat Detective today on the show. It's going to be our last song that we play. So you can join in. We've got Aaron, Emily and Olivia have joined us now. They have joined us here at Inverness Hospital Radio, and hopefully very soon we'll be giving you some shows here on the station as well. So we're going to see if they manage to get the clues to our Beat Detective. They're already looking at each other nervously, so I don't know what I'm expecting here. So it is a song and artist. Beat Detective this week. The clue is busting a groove in the glow of this lunar body. That's busting a groove in the glow of this lunar body. And the artist, of all the Packers, these are the best. So, busting a groove in the glow of this lunar body, and of all the Packers, these are the best. If you want to see the clue again, go onto our social media. It's on Facebook and on Instagram, and you can send in your answers as well. That's going to be the song that we play out with for this week's show. Now, I've just seen the computer system has offered me the Corrs and Summer Sunshine. I think it's taking the mickey out of us here. It's definitely autumn now. Oh, what a great song. It's Queen and Play the Game. Well, we've only got time for one more song, which means that we need to give you the answer to Beat Detective. Just to remind you that coming up at the top of the hour at 2 o'clock here, Jan Barclay is here live for Mindful Moments. I'm just having a look to see what songs that she's got lined up. The second song you're playing, Jan, I love, so I'm going to have it. I'll be listening in the car as I drive back to the house. Some great music to enjoy. She's got some Sam Cooke, some Benny Ging, some Al Green as well, so stay tuned for that. Now, the clues to Beat Detective were... Oh, see, I've lost my bit of paper now. The bit of paper actually isn't even a bit of paper. It is... I'll double click on the screen. Busting a groove in the glow of this lunar body, and the artist was, of all the Packers, these are the best. Now, sitting opposite me, we've got Aaron, Emily and Olivia. And Olivia, do you want to jump in and tell us what the answer is, at least to the song? Be proud that you got the answer right. So, busting a groove to the glow... in the glow of this lunar body. So what is the name of the song, please, Olivia?
Dancing in the Moonlight.
It is Dancing in the Moonlight. And of all the Packers, these are the best. The artist that we've chosen, because there's different versions of this song, is going to be, of all these Packers, these are the best, Top Loader.
Oh, yes.
I always see when somebody groans when you give them the answer to your cryptic quiz clue. Now, next week on the Saturday drop-in, it is going to be Shannon and Karen who are here for you. I'm not going to mention why I'm not here for the next 2 weeks. No, I couldn't possibly mention Lanzarote. Anyway.
2 weeks then.
2 weeks, I know. So, will the station still be here when I come back? Well, I suppose we'll just have to wait and find out. Folks, if you're listening in hospital, I hope that you get well soon and get home to your loved ones. Do take care. Stay tuned to Inverness Hospital Radio. Jan is up next. I'll be back in a few weeks' time. But there's always something here, so do check us out at invernesshospitalradio.co.uk. Bye-bye for now.